everyone. I am back with another great interview for you, and this time it's with Dan Schawbel, and his expertise lies in specifically the millennial generation in the workforce. So Dan, I'm so happy to have you here today.
Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to talking to you.
Well, let's just dive right into it. So one of the first things that you found in this study is that there are some strong communication preferences with Gen Zs and millennials that are maybe what people wouldn't think.
So this is the second study we've done, 10 different countries. Last one was 2014. We interviewed 1,000 Gen Zs and 1,000 millennials. This one is over 4,000. And 2 years ago, we found that the number one trait they're looking for in leaders is honesty. And now it's communication. Communication is king. And regardless of what age you're in, whether you're 16, whether you're 65, we found unanimously that people prefer in-person communication over using technology. So we asked about communication preferences. And what's interesting is if you were to conduct a behavioral study, you'll find that younger generations are spending more time with technology, but that's not actually what they desire. So it's like a tip for companies to create more experiences in person, not just online. And actually what's even more interesting is we asked them how they want to be trained. What devices do you want to use for training? And actually only 10% globally are looking for online training as the top means to learn. They want to learn from their coworkers. And how does that happen? In person. So I think while it seems like a lot of people are drifting away from having physical spaces, those physical spaces are becoming actually more important. And, between when Gen Z was in school and now that they're in the workforce, the need and desire to have an actual functional workspace has increased. Mm-hmm. So before they even got into the workplace, they're like, oh, well, we want to be in a physical environment. And that's increased now that they are in it. They're seeing how valuable it actually is. And I am someone who's worked from home for 6 years. And now we've had an office on and off. We've had different co-working spaces. And I'm definitely seeing the value. I'm seeing the value in terms of collaboration, brainstorming, actually having action on things. But I think that there's been a lot of research of people wasting time meetings, which has drawn people to having fewer meetings. And that's why you're seeing in a lot of co-working spaces and now in a lot of big companies, because we work with, over 50 of the largest companies, we found that they're mimicking co-working spaces. So they're looking at WeWork and they're saying, oh, they have huddle rooms where you get a team of 4, you go in for 15 minutes, a half hour, and you come out quickly, instead of these large boardrooms where you sit in this boardroom for an hour, 2 hours, and actually waste time. So I think we can learn a lot from co-working spaces, but I also think that it's really important now than ever before, whether it's you're learning, whether you're collaborating, whatever you're trying to do when it comes to work, in person is really important. And it's even with personal, right? So if you think about dating, if all you do is stay on these dating services, nothing's really going to happen for you. No relationship's going to be created. And as you know, and you're extremely good at this, is meeting people in person at events, communicating, figuring out what their needs are, figuring out how you can help them. That's not going away, and it'll never go away. And it's, I remember I was on Alcatraz last year, and I wasn't locked up, but, people in solitary confinement go crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel if I don't see someone in a few days, I feel awkward. It's strange. And so I think there's a lot to be said about that. And that's why I'm excited yet weary of virtual reality. We found actually in the study that after social media and wearables, virtual reality was the third most interesting technology to Gen Zs and millennials in terms of what they expect companies to integrate into their workplace. So it's interesting as a culture, we're almost moving more and more away from actually physically being around other people. But our need to be around other people is accelerating. And I find that really fascinating.